All right, 7:36 here on this Thursday morning. Did you see this story? I thought this was kind of interesting. I'm still mad about 2020. I think we all allowed a vicious, nasty, racist, I'm calling you a racist, mob of people who hate whites and hate Virginia history to win in 2020. And some of the people who were out in the street are white themselves, but they've been taught either self-loathing, which is not a healthy place to be, or they've been taught that they, in 2023, have the moral standing, the self-righteous standing, to judge everybody who preceded them in America. Really, find me somebody in 2023 who you think has the moral standing to actually do that. I'm looking. I don't see that. I see a lot of very flawed, obnoxious, arrogant people. I'm pretty arrogant on occasion, and I don't think I can stand in judgment of everybody who preceded me, at least not to the point where I would erase them. So in Virginia Beach, this is interesting, a statue of a Confederate soldier that once stood near Virginia Beach's City Hall is now being moved to private land in the southern part of the city and maintained by a foundation. This is from a story in the Virginian Pilot. The city council unanimously approved that relocation on Tuesday of this week. The monument's been in storage for 3 years. The Shenandoah Valley Battlefields Foundation, which provides visitor services to 20 Civil War battlefields and other related historic sites, will take over the ownership and is partnering with groups to keep the statue up. All right, I guess that's one solution if we're going to be bullied by the bigots and the haters in this society. Then I guess we can tear everything down and stick it in a battlefield and hope that they don't come for the battlefield. It's just like the lie we were told about cemeteries. Oh, yes, get these things out of the public realm on current city streets and put them in cemeteries, and that will be okay. Trust us, said the Democrats. Trust us, said the leftists. Trust us. We're not going to go after cemeteries. And then what's the first thing they did this year? They decided they would go after the Reconciliation Monument in Arlington Cemetery. The Reconciliation Monument. The monument about the North and the South putting the murders and the devastation and the horrors of war behind them and moving on, unified as a country. Yeah, that statue, they're still trying to take down. Lunell Siegel is with Defend Arlington. And Lunell, when I saw this story, I figured it's time to get an update from you on what's happening there. I know you've been fighting tooth and nail and trying to get some people with spines in the Congress to say enough of this. Have you been successful yet? What do you think? Good morning.
Good morning. Well, the good news is the monument is still there. The bad news is we haven't broken through to the level we can. So I'm on this morning with an appeal for Virginians to do something now. And we've made it easy for Virginians to do that with our website. This morning, we've added some phone numbers and a link to Governor Youngkin's office and a phone number to Attorney General Mayeras. And we need to appeal to them to do what they can do in their power to halt the destruction at this cemetery. Mayeras could join our lawsuit. That's one thing he could do. Governor Youngkin could use his power with the State Historic Preservation Office to tell the Army this is unmitigatable. You just can't repair the damage of removing this memorial from Virginia history. So there's two things right there that people can do right this morning. And the other thing is, the lawsuit is pretty expensive. So there's a link there. People could donate or they could reach out to us and we can tell them how to chip in if they have an endowment or want to make a non-profit donation.
Yeah, boy, those lawyers cost a lot. What is the website so that people can go to it real quick?
Thank you, John. It's defendarlington.org, DEFEND, Arlington.org. And, you nailed it. But, we have to remember that there's people who this memorial marks as their graves. I have a few names of Virginians. I'd just like to read just a few, and we're going to be posting this list later this morning. Porter, Hodgkins, Holder, Mumau, Moss, Murphy, Mustang, Jordan, Joyce, Elam, Hubbard, Cole, Goodner, Bibb, Scroggin, King, Kirby, Kirk, Capps, and the list goes on and on and
There's
on.
some people in our audience with the
Virginians.
same last name today that could probably trace their name back to the folks who were buried in Arlington Cemetery. And I'm just so disgusted that anyone who is a normal person, even if they don't agree with me politically, would think that it's okay to go into a cemetery and tear down or move statuary, especially if that statuary marks a gravesite related to how the person died. Even if I don't like what they were fighting about or for or against, that seems to cross a line to me. And I'm surprised you all haven't found more people in the Congress. I mean, I guess I'm not looking to the Congress for a lot of backbone, but you haven't found more people who will say, yeah, you know what? I don't like the Confederacy. I don't like the South, but this is a line too far. Now, Bob Good stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, I would like to mention that, we've been reaching out to the House Armed Services Committee first,
right. Okay.
because they're the ones who set the military budget. But what we've learned about them is, it's not about right and wrong. It's about keeping the military happy. So there's a little fight going on in Congress. Yes, Virginian Bob Good took a courageous position, and not only does he trying to protect Arlington, but he wants to defund the naming commission recommendations. So hats off to him, and I hope everyone will send him a thank you note today and a thank you call for taking a principled stand. And he has several co-sponsors to an amendment to the demilitary spending bill. But
to strip
right now,
the whole thing out and just stop this craziness.
Yes. Right,
which is responsible. I think that's responsible to say, you know what, we're getting distracted here. This is not a core element of our mission. And this has been driven by Elizabeth Warren, the wacko senator from up north, who apparently is trying to pick the scab off of one of the greatest wounds in American history instead of move us forward. I mean, that obnoxious woman.
Bingo.
Every time she opens her mouth, I think, are you trying to get things better here, or are you trying to stir up more animosity and hostility? I mean, we shouldn't be looking for her to lead on anything, because she's leading us in the wrong direction. Let's stop this craziness right now.
But there's a fight between the Republican Party right now that stalled the process, which is, we hope, beneficial to us, and that is the hawks versus the anti-woke people. So many people know Matt Gaetz from Florida. He and others are trying to stop the woke spending in the military, and of course, this is a big chock of woke right here.
Right, yeah.
So there's a fight. Are we going to keeping the military happy and Milley and all them?
Why would Republicans be worried about Secretary Austin or Mark Milley? I mean, honestly, I think Republicans, seriously, if I was in the Congress, I would tell those guys, let me tell you something. I keep hearing your name on things that make me unhappy. I'm coming for you personally. Your career is going to be over. I don't understand. When I worked in the Congress, that kind of stuff happened. A congressman would call and say, I better not hear any more out of you on these topics, because I'm becoming unhappy here, and I'm going to start marshaling my forces to cause you a problem here. I don't understand what's going on. These guys have got to get a backbone and get up in people's faces, not like the Democrats do, who go to the innocent person who's having lunch and they harass the innocent person. I'm talking about the bad decision makers in D.C. Why are we allowing these guys to continue to lead when everything they've touched in the last decade has been a disaster? On the military battlefield and policy-wise. It's shocking.
You make an excellent point, and right now recruitment is an all-time low. And I'm reminded on Memorial Day about what George Washington said. The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation.
Yeah. It hadn't changed.
Attacking Arlington National Cemetery and all these other Southern Veterans memorials bodes very badly for Army recruitment, where the South has always been the preponderance of the young people who go in to defend a country.
That recruitment issue is big.
Starting after the Spanish-American War, where the sons of the North and the sons of the South joined together under one flag for the common good. And that was that spirit of reconciliation which this memorial was erected.
Yeah. Nice. Lunell Siegel is with Defend Arlington. Go to their website and make your voice heard. I appreciate you constantly keeping us up to date on this, Lunell,
Thank you,
for your
John.
work. Thank you. Yeah, look, somebody show me the data that indicates that the United States military, and I'm not slamming your sons and daughters who are rank and file. I'm not doing that. I'm pro-military. But we got bad leaders right now. We got bad military leaders and bad civilian leaders who are not focused on the mission. And as Lunell points out, recruitment is down, and there's a reason for that, because the average person says, why would I get involved in this? Everybody gets dumped on, and I could go make more money somewhere else, and I won't get bullets. There's not a chance I'm going to die here. Why would I do this? And that's because we got a bunch of morons, self-righteous morons in D.C., led by Elizabeth Warren and some of those generals that we just talked about, who are making bad decisions. We got to push back on it. 7:47 on this Thursday. We'll be back with more in a moment on News Radio WRVA.